Hi, and welcome back to Fedmail from a very special site. This is Washington's headquarters overlooking the Hudson River in Newburgh, New York. You see the building behind me, a statue of the Minutemen, or should I say in tribute to the Minutemen, right here over my other shoulder. That, in fact, is based on the statue, the very large statue on Lexington Green that I know many of you know about. The United States Military Academy is just down the river from here. The Hudson River is right behind me. This place is steeped in history, and as we reflect on America at 250, I want to remind you of what happened here at the end of the Revolutionary War. So George Washington, of course, who had fought so bravely, shoulder to shoulder with these revolutionary soldiers, many of whom were just farmers or merchants, through years and years of tumultuous battle, from Valley Forge to Yorktown, the siege of Boston, where Washington actually took command of the army from none other than Commander Dean of Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. But putting that aside for a moment, here in Newburgh, New York, at the end of the war, the officers who had fought alongside of Washington were in a state of panic. The war was still not over yet. There was some uncertainty about what their future would look like, mostly in terms of how they would be paid for their years of service. And several of them got together talking about this conspiracy. They had put it on paper. Washington came upon that letter, gathered them all together, and sat down in the room, took off his glasses and said, we've fought alongside each other. My vision has gone. My hair has grayed. We've fought as brothers. We've given up so much to take part in this great experiment, this great effort to create a country. Now is not the time to do it. He brought his officers to tears, in fact, with his message, with his speech, which is far more articulate than the brief summary that I'm giving you now. But the point that I want to make is that in a moment of crisis, in a moment when you have factions in your society or in your group that want to break apart and are fighting, and there are fissures that have arisen, and it seems like the values aren't the same between people, something that we're experiencing right now in the United States as Americans, something that Israel is experiencing, and something that we as the Jewish people are experiencing. We've seen all of the polls that have come out in recent weeks talking about the divisions among our people. Reminding ourselves of our brotherhood, of our shared commitment and sacrifice is so important. And if we look to history, whether it's Washington's message here in Newburgh at the end of the war, or we read the history of our own people, the Jewish people, during the siege of Jerusalem, during the battle with Rome, and we're observing a period right now of mourning, directly related to that period, we should learn the lessons of those times, which is that when we're divided, when we've got those fissures and factions that have arisen in our group, how dangerous and vulnerable that can be, how that puts us at such a risk, and how important it is, whether we're the United States of America or this small group of Jews amongst a sea of global people where we're such a small fraction with a microscope or a magnifying glass shining on us, how important it is to come together and remember what it is about us that we share, what it is that we have in common, because there's far more that we have in common than it is that we have differences. And so many of us, so many of our great writers and analysts and speakers over the last several weeks, with the July 4th holiday so near, and in celebration of that holiday, talked about how the United States of America should always be working towards perfecting itself. And that too is something that we need to work on as Jews. But while we're doing that, we can't make the perfect the enemy of the good. And while that doesn't mean that we should be satisfied when things only meet the threshold that we want, we should also take into consideration where we are, be grateful for them, and celebrate the wins, the victories, and achievements that we have. That should inspire us to greatness, should inspire us to do better, and particularly at this time, both as we celebrate America at 250 or continue to, and work towards the betterment of that, but also as we mourn the tragic past of our own people, the Jewish people, as we culminate in Tisha B'Av with the period of 3 weeks. All of that is a time to reflect, learn, and to do better. So with that, I wish you a good Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting Jewish life in Central Mass and around the world. Bye-bye.